click.
Oh, did you click?
No, I didn't click
either. All right, here we go.
Right.
Click it too. Okay, here we go. Oh wait, it's not working. Now it's working. You talking? You talking? Okay,
I'm
great.
talking. Am I talking?
Yeah, you talking. We good. What's up? On today's episode of the hashtag Blackout podcast, ho ho ho, y'all! It's the holiday season, and we're talking about all kinds of fun stuff today, including how your Thanksgiving and Black Friday weekend went. If you were trapped in a business with people for more than 7 days, which type of business would you be trapped in? What's the funniest Black buddy movie that you've ever seen between a group of 4 hilarious movies? All this, should they make a white coffee, no sugar, no black, no non-cream, I don't know what you call it, a white coffee song, like the Black coffee song from back in the day?
Mm.
All this, some voicemails, and more on today's episode of the hashtag Blackout podcast. Pew, 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 pew. What's up? Welcome back. Welcome back. And welcome back again. I did not pause between that intro and this intro, this beginning, whatever. Welcome back to the hashtag Blackout podcast, episode 203. I'm Jared.
What up, people? I'm Jay.
And we are back at it again.
Back in the place.
This
to be.
Mama Jamma. Yeah, how you doing today, cuz?
I'm good, man. Feels like a long weekend, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's Sunday, Spent all day at a karate tournament yesterday. That was fun.
Oh, they did it. They was out there cracking heads.
Yeah, cracking heads in the stands because they didn't want to do it.
Oh, come on, man.
They did not want to do it. And crazy thing is, ran into like a couple of the other parents and, senseis and stuff like that. And it was like, they should have got it. They should have went in here. They would have got gold if they would have, participated in their age group. But it's whatever. It's whatever. They know what it's like. So next time, if they want to do it or not, I'm signing them up for it. They're gonna get in there and get up in that ring and do their thing. So but it was cool, man.
Yeah. Well, what did they think? Like, did they? Okay, so for everyone's info that hasn't heard or didn't listen to the episode, we talked about it. Jay's kids are, young, budding kung fu masters, little mini Bruce Leroy's coming up in the game. And yeah, they had a karate tournament that was supposed to be over this weekend, and they were debating if they wanted to compete or not.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So what? How'd that go?
Nerves of steel, man. So they were just scared. Just plain and simple. They were just scared. 8 and 11 years old. They didn't know what to expect. They watched too many movies, so they're thinking everything's like Bloodsport or like what's that other terrible yet cult classic movie, Karate Kid.
Oh yeah,
the Karate Kid.
Man, Karate Kid is the jam. That ain't terrible. What you telling me?
I mean, it was cool at the time, but I still think I could have whipped Bruce Lee. Not Bruce Lee. Let me stop. Daniel LaRusso's ass, man.
Mm-hmm. At you probably could have
my skill level back then. Yeah, man. And so that's what's in their mind. They're thinking it's Mortal Kombat, no holds bar, blood and guts type of thing. But it wasn't, They got pads. The young kid, everybody has pads on to a certain degree. And there's, for the younger kids, there's really no full contact. Is when you get up into the upper, I guess, ranks, advanced skill level, then, there'll be a little bit more contact. And surprisingly enough, there was 2 Olympic competitors that were there that were on the latest Olympics team who were participating as well as judging, being an official. So they were there. And surprisingly enough, my kids, one of my kids' teachers used to train with them. So so they do have that particular skill level that's being in their particular dojo. So they do have the professional type of environment or teaching, tutelage if you want to call it that. So yeah, man. But it was a lot. It was lots of kids, lots of families, lots of exhibitions and stuff like that. And
yeah,
I tell you, man, we were there all from like maybe 10. What time did we get it? No, 11:30 to probably 4:30. It's a long time,
that's a
long
long
time, man.
day.
It's a very long day, and it only brought me back to like way back when I was competing in tournaments and stuff too. So yeah, but it was great, man. I tell you one thing: the girls, like the teenage girls, those they are like fierce. If we had to use a word to describe them, they are fierce when they're performing like their kata.
Girls cracking heads.
The girls were cracking heads and doing amazing, man. I think they do. It feels like they do a lot better as a whole than like some of the men competitors, as far as like their technique and whatnot. So shout out to all of them, whoever they are, but they did that thing. So
the girls they didn't have like a, what you call it? They didn't have like a co-ed fighting, like girls fighting boys and vice versa, right?
No, none of that. So yeah, and it was cool because a lot of the kids at my kids dojo, they came out with a lot of gold medals, a lot of silver and bronze as well. So it was great, man, seeing them just going to support the young kids and
so maybe your kids saw that and they were like, oh man, I want to get a medal, I want to get a trophy.
They want to get the medal, but like towards the end, like the head guy of our school, he came and he's like, so you guys excited? You want to do the next one? And they were like, no, I don't want to.
Oh, come on, kids.
So I'm like, nah, boy, y'all gonna get in the next one. I'm gonna make y'all get in the next one. And it was cool, man. It brought back a lot of memories. Like I saw this one girl getting on stage, getting her second place medal, silver medal, and she was crying because I knew exactly how that was, and I was telling my wife right before we got to the tournament. Yeah, the last tournament I was in, I wanted so bad to get that first place trophy, but I ended up getting the medal, and I cried the whole ride back home because I was just so disappointed in myself because I didn't get that first place trophy, man. And I cried, I boo-hooed the whole way. So watching that young girl on stage crying because she got that second place, I knew exactly how she felt. But yeah, man,
that's what I'm talking about, though.
Man. It was great.
That's the sign of a good competitor. I'm trying to say somebody who wants it so bad. They want it so bad that it brings them to tears because you worked. I'm trying to say you worked a lot in practicing, in in sparring matches. I mean, you get there to the event, like you cracking heads all the way into the end, and then you got half cracked a little bit more than you cracked, I guess, something like that. And yeah, man, it's doing competitions, man. It's one of those things. If you're there to win. If you don't, I mean, my mentality personally is I go to competitions to win. I don't just show up just to like say hi to my friends.
Yeah. I mean, it's every fighting, I guess, tournament, or maybe every tournament period in whatever type of sport or competition you're in, there's always the nerves that's going to get to you. The nervousness, it kind of gets to you, but once you step into that ring, it somewhat all fades away. But yeah, man, it was. Yeah, I remember that so clearly and so vividly. That was a long ride back from from our tournament at one day. But,
it's all good, man.
Cool.
Hey, I'm glad that y'all at least went. So the kids could see it. I'm trying to say. Just so they could see it, they could experience, at least from an audience perspective. And I think that'll, they'll be prepared probably, a little more mentally maybe than when their first one comes up. Even though, like you say, the nerves hit, pregame, nerves start to hit, but yeah, like you said, I'm sure as soon as you step into the ring, as soon as you step on stage, it goes away.
Yeah. It was cool seeing some of those kids there because There was a lot of young men and women, like teenage girls and boys, that are on the AAAU team. So, watching them, and eventually, probably in the future, you end up seeing them on the Olympic team.
Yeah.
So just taking note of those people, and kind of just being in that arena, watching them move up the ranks and stuff.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, man. Hey, well, shoot. Shout out to y'all for taking your kids through. I'm sure. They were probably a little hesitant, but when they go to that first competition, I think they'll probably do well. So that's good. So
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, yeah, sounds like a long weekend, but honestly, that's probably like a fun thing to go and check out for sure. Wow, on this side of the world, man, this is probably more getting into like how Black Friday weekend went.
Okay.
Added into everything. So Thanksgiving was cool. I did a two-tone turkey. And it was two-tone turkey. Yeah, it was mixed race. Half of it
biracial turkey.
Exactly right. Half of it I seasoned with the Hooks Rub Midnight, the black seasoning with a little bit of H-Town mixed in, and then the other half I seasoned with the smoke and sweetness. So it's a little red, a little black, half and half, and it turned out pretty great. We had Thanksgiving out of town, so the day we were going to be heading back to town, my wife was like, "Hey, I think I'm gonna walk the dog real fast before we have to take this 4-hour drive." So I was like, "Okay." Even though in her mind, she was like, "Should I go pack first, real quick, or should I take this dog on a walk?" So I gotta take him on a walk real fast, be back. So around the corner from my mother-in-law's house, I guess the dog lunged out across the street toward another dog that was coming up the street that my wife was on. And I guess the leash crossed in front of her path as she was walking. She tripped and fell forward and landed square on her knee.
Ouch.
And actually, she ended up, cracked her tibia bone, right at the top.
That. Yep.
So I had to go down. I actually drove down and picked her up because she couldn't even stand up and walk. So I had to go down and pick her up.
Oh boy.
Get her in the car, and we went back to my mother-in-law's house, and we were just gonna leave that day. But she was she kept saying, "Oh man, my knee." So we're like, you know what? Let's just go to the hospital, the whatever, real fast. So we went through the hospital real quick, and yeah, man, they did X-rays, said she got a little cracked knee, put her in a knee brace, and was like, basically, you can't walk on it for 6+ weeks. So after seeing orthopedic doctor, they confirmed, basically we'll go back in a couple of weeks to get another X-ray to see, if anything has gotten worse or if it's getting better. And so hopefully they'll be back, she'll be back on her feet within a few weeks, because we have a trip that we had planned for our anniversary last year, but since it was COVID year, we had to push it back a year. So hopefully she'll be ready for that trip.
Yeah.
And she'll heal
sucks,
up. But
man.
yeah, she said she laid up. It's her right leg, so she can't drive. So
she's
I'm
on crutches.
She's on crutches. Yeah. So I'm basically chauffeuring everybody around. I already did that a little bit, but adding in my daughter's schedule, with dance and school, it's a little bit more. So this past week it worked for me. Thankfully, I work from home. Work virtually, remotely, which is great. But this week of work, I don't know, man. I had to sort of figure it out on the fly, because every day, I was like, well, I got to go take the kids to school, so this is the time frame that happens, which is normally I'd be working, or I got to go pick up one from school, which normally I'd be working, so I have to work later, So it's whatever, man. But hopefully she gets better.
I'm sure.
It's funky. But Black Friday weekend, man, I did go to the store Black Friday because T-Mobile was doing that cool promotion where, if you're a new or existing customer and you have an iPhone 11 or above, you could trade in your phone for the newest iPhone. So both my wife and I took advantage of that on Black Friday.
Oh, nice.
And they give you a free set of AirPods per account. So she got the AirPods, even though she hadn't set them up yet. They just in there collect the dust. I'm like, bro, you just give me them AirPods. Oh. But it was cool, man. It was a free upgrade. All you had to do was pay like $30, for the whatever handling fee or whatever.
So even if let's say
it was good.
So nowadays, I guess they lease phones, lease to own or whatever. Mm-hmm. You paid like a monthly payment.
Yeah.
Even if you
owed.
Let's just say even if you paid it off, you paid off your previous phone and you turned it in, there nothing else you didn't have to pay anything like a per month.
Yeah, you would have to pay. Let's see here. Because it's a free upgrade. It's a straight up upgrade.
Okay. Wow.
Because I had to pay nothing. I had to pay nothing on the extra phone, and I would check the T-Mobile site to see if they still have the deal going.
Let's see, is Sprint got the? Well, I have the 10X Max.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I would look on their website and see if that deal is still.
Is that the one that Sprint that the T-Mobile gets Sprint, or is that another?
Yeah,
company?
T-Mobile took over Sprint.
Oh,
maybe. I think they're leaving both companies like
separated,
separate because name and stuff like that. But I think they took over, their services and whatnot. But T-Mobile, on top of that, a free year Apple TV. Hey man, we already were working on a free year Apple TV, but I'm happy to add in another year.
Let's see. Okay,
down with that.
I see free $0 down 30. No, that's not it. Yeah, maybe they must have stopped doing it.
You might have missed it, man.
But you said it was 11 and up, so I mean, I
had an 11, so that's why I turned in. I didn't know if they went down to 10, so you could at least check and see if that's still a thing. But nah, man, it was cool because I went and got that phone. Switched up both of our phones, and then later on I went to Walmart to get because I saw they had like OtterBox cases on sale for like $20. And I was like, man, and this is like the good OtterBox case, like this $50, $60 case.
Yeah.
And it was for Black Friday. So I strolled up in there and T-Mobile wasn't busy. Walmart wasn't really that busy, like for being Black Friday. And I mean, it was probably like, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock when I went up there, PM. But yeah, man, went up there, got us a couple cases, and I'm getting a different case, not the OtterBox case. I got this. I don't know. It's like this little cool case, but man, dope, man.
I just got rid of my OtterBox. I had it since I got my 10S Max years ago when they first came out. But I just got rid of it because it was falling apart, man.
Yeah.
Crazy thing is, I never dropped the phone.
Yeah.
Which is weird. So I just got me a new case that's a lot sleeker and thinner because that OtterBox, that sucker was so thick.
Yeah, it's really bulky, man. But it's a good case. I swear, man.
It is.
See, my OtterBox, I pull my phone out of my pocket. I pull my phone out of my pocket to pick it up to look at it. And instead of looking at it, I just like fling it and the phone just flies. So my phone like to skate across the ground and stuff like that. So the OtterBox came in handy. So this case that I got is supposed to be like a 10-foot, drop, shock resistance, all this stuff.
Wow.
So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. The little 16-year-old that was working at Walmart was like, yeah, it's a good case. So I was like,
still going through puberty, huh?
Yeah, I was like, all right, man, whatever. But no, it was a good weekend overall, other than cool. The obvious part that happened. But I'll tell you this, what made me actually excited and proud in the moment as soon as I heard it was your boy Jay sent in an email, to the Felipe's Garage podcast. What did I say? Felipe's Garage.
I think
saying garage and podcast at the same time. For some reason, it didn't work for my diction at the moment. Pause. Yeah. But he sent in a note to Felipe's Garage, the podcast, and they read it on episode 197.
Something like that. Yeah.
Titled Swedish Slippers.
Yeah. I had to send it in, because I think some months ago the host cookbook, he was honestly thinking about calling it quits for the podcast, because just like a lot of us podcasters, we got a lot of things going on. We can't devote all our time to working on the podcast.
We ain't Joe Rogan.
Yeah, we ain't Joe Rogan. We don't get paid for this,
right?
We don't get paid. So he was thinking about calling it quits, once they got to 200. So
yeah.
And I had that letter typed up like right after they did that, because like seriously, I've been rocking with their podcast since episode 1.
Been a mechanic
a couple
forever.
Years ago. Yeah. So I've been down with them forever. So it's just pretty much just expressing whatever I had to say at that time. They read it, and it was just pretty much just letting them know how many of these other podcasters, especially us, kind of feel as far as like this whole podcasting thing. Kind of gave them a couple little suggestions as far as like interacting with the other podcasters. Could probably get more eyes on them, because they already got a lot of eyes. They who's that cookbook, and he's a recording artist himself, just dropped a little project with the producer Sherbert,
which came out this weekend, right?
Yeah, it just came out this past Friday. Yeah. So you guys go check that out, Portlangeles. So yeah, it was a pretty dope project. So yeah, they like I was saying, telling them they pretty much have a lot of things at their disposal, as far as like interview type things, like connections to recording artists and things like that, if they want to go that interview route type deal. One of the guys that used to be on Nesto, he's a filmmaker, so he has a lot of connections like that. He's not really on the pod that much anymore, but yeah, if anybody out there that likes like nerd stuff and hip hop and movie stuff, and not really want to be concerned with like this, a lot of news stuff, or kind of like big things in the news, then I suggest checking them out.
Yeah. It's really almost like, you get to go even more behind the scenes listening to their podcasts and some of their episodes, because they're talking about interactions that they've had while they're in production of movie, or not movie, but music, while they're I guess, what am I trying to say? Talk about interactions and friends and acquaintances and everything else like that they have in the music industry and in other industries. And then they also do like a who wore it best, and they take a beat that was sampled, and I've listened to a whole lot of their episodes, and sadly when I stopped driving like an hour one way for work every day, or a half hour, whichever time, where I worked, I didn't get to, mix in podcasts as much, because that was part of my daily drive. But yeah, I've still listened to a lot of episodes, and it's a really good show, man. So it'd be sad if they left, because they definitely tackle a segment of the industry that not everybody does from their perspective. So I think it's dope. Yeah.
And these last couple episodes, I think the episode 200, they just released 199. So episode 200, they're going to do something on the episode that they're going to record. So episode 199, and I'm doing air quotes, they had somebody come in to show them how to make guacamole. And if you listen to the episode guacamole, you'll figure it out. But it's DMT. So the hallucinogenic drug, they're gonna do it live on episode 200, and record that experience. But the video recording of that experience may have to come through Patreon, which they just started. So, but you'll probably hear the results during that show, and the actual live tripping out of whatever is going on. So the spirit molecule, that's what it's It's called. Yeah.
Let's see. It's a hallucinogenic type drug, sometimes referred to as Dimitri. The drug produces effects similar to those of psychedelics like LSD and magic mushrooms. So it sounds like they're gonna have a good time. Fantasia, Businessman's Trip, Businessman's Special 45-minute Psychosis, The Spirit Molecule, and as they know it on their episode, Guacamole. So
yes, the guacamole. So
man, that's crazy, man. So should be interesting. Should be interesting, and I'll definitely check out that newest episode once that drops. That should be interesting. Cool. Well, congratulations for hopping on there, man. As soon as I heard it, it was like, this is from, JL or J Rose or something like that. And they started talking and they started reading the letter. And I was driving, actually. I was on the 4-hour drive going to where we were at for Thanksgiving. So as I heard it, I was like, that's got to be LeBron. And so I told my son, and then I turned up the volume of the episode, and we listened, and it was fun, man. It was good. It was a good letter. Good job, man. So yeah, man. So that was most of that weekend, and then I gotta say something. Okay, so if you ever go to a silent auction, don't bring your kids. Don't bring your kids. And this is why. No. Well, yeah, a little bit of that. So one of my neighbors, in our little neighborhood area, there's about 20 houses in this little thing that we live in here, this little subdivision. So one of the neighbors put out like a little Facebook message, and actually went out to everybody's house and dropped off an invitation to basically, it's like a candy cane hunt / hot cocoa night and movie night at their house, right? And they're like, also, we're going to be doing a silent auction. So if you have a business or if you have stuff that you could get to donate for people to bid on, definitely please bring it, because we'll, it's all raising money for charity, and it'll be a silent auction.
That's cool.
So it's all raising money for charity for this place called Candy Cane Corner, who works with a organization called the Road Home. And the Road Home helps people who are either previously homeless or are homeless, getting out of homelessness and trying to get to that next step of life, or it's people who are getting out of like abusive, like deadly abusive relationships, situations like that, trying to get, it's like halfway from there to another house to where they could be more secure. Right. And the Candy Cane Corner aspect of it, helps out these families because the moms and dads, they submit like the wants and needs of themselves as well as their kids. And these companies basically go shopping for these people, with like vouchers, and the vouchers are paid for by donations, but it's a more respectable way, I guess, for people to provide a Christmas for their family rather than just being given stuff. This is like stuff that it's like on their actual Christmas list. So it's a pretty dope organization. I've worked with them in the past and other organizations as well. So it was cool. I was like, all right, that's dope. I'm gonna bring a couple bottles of Hooks Rub. What I'm saying? Let's roll up there and I'll let it auction off, which is really cool because I think the 2 bottles that I put up there are valued at $24, total, like retail, and I think the winning bidder won it for $45. So
wow,
that's cool, man. That's really dope. And so okay, so they had all this stuff there, all this random stuff. They had this really cool cooler, right? It's like one of these like $200, $300 coolers, like the Yeti style coolers, and inside they had like these like Coke like thermos cups that were like really, that are supposed to keep your drink hot or cold for hours type of thing. They had like a Monster Energy hat. They had some MMA gloves that were signed by Conor McGregor.
Oh, sweet.
Right? And they had like some other stuff in there. And so my son started bidding on that. So I was like chatting with my neighbors and stuff like that. And I kept hearing my son like bidding on stuff. And I was like, what's going on? And I didn't really realize what was happening. So my son was bidding this thing up. And apparently there was like another neighbor that was in there that kept getting agitated. So every time my son would put a bid, this neighbor would come and put a bid. And I didn't know what was happening, man. I was like, what the heck? And so I told my kids, I was like, just go look around, see if there's something that you want to bid on. I said, see if there's something you want to bid on. I didn't say go bid on this stuff, right? So
$5,000.
Right? That was funny. And my daughter's like, you should just put 5,000. And I was like, what? So after I finished talking to my neighbors, I turned around and looked, and my son had bid probably like 8 or 9 times on this cooler combo set.
Okay.
And at this point, it was up to like $120. And I was like, dude, you gotta slow down. What are you doing? And in my mind, I was like, we already got 2 or 3 coolers like this at the house. Like, we don't need another cooler. He's like, man, it's cool. And that Monster hat is cool. It was just like a regular ball cap, a Monster ball cap you could buy at Ross Dress for Less or TJ Maxx, for like $15, $10. So it was that, and it was like, he was like, man, and that's a cool cooler. I really want that. And I was like, you just need to chill. And so I ended up walking away, and I was looking at all the other stuff that they had while my kids were getting me like peppermint hot cocoa and stuff, and I was walking around. And so there was like only like 1 or 2 things that I wanted to bid on. So I put down a bid on it, and I was like, I'm probably not going to win this, whatever. And then secretly, my daughter was going on bidding on random stuff too.
Mm-mm.
So I was like, what is happening? So I was like, you know what, whatever. And we left before the end of it. I was like, we're probably going to get our bid on most, if not all of this stuff. The only thing that I was like, I think we'll probably win this one. It was like a beanie from like a poke restaurant here. It was a beanie, and it had like 2 $20 gift cards. So, and I put like $25 was my final bid or something like that. $30. I don't know. Cause it was starting at 0. So I was like, yeah, I'll probably win that, because there was only one other person before me, and I think that person had left. And so I was like, all right, let's just bounce. So we left. So later on that night, my neighbor posts on the little Facebook group, okay, here are the winners. And there's like I don't know, there's like 30 items that people were bidding on. Tell me why we won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items for a total of $127.
Okay.
So let me tell you, and
that's between you and your son and your daughter.
Yeah, and myself, like the 1 or 2 things I put on there. So apparently the cooler thing went back and forth. I think the guy who was like getting agitated with my son, I think he might have left at some point. So somebody else like swooped in at the last minute and got that for like $150, right? But my son had left too before the end of it. It's so funny because the guy had bid like $126, and my son put $126.50. It was like the price is right. Like a showcase showdown or whatever.
That's
like, man, this kid. So and before he left, he was like, "Hey, Dad, I want you to watch that, and if somebody else is bidding on it, make sure you bid 50 cents more."
Wow.
And if it gets too much,
you think this is eBay?
right? It's like an auction, like a straight up online auction. So he's like, you know what? And I think that was the mentality that he had, which was funny.
That's funny.
So he was like, and if it gets too much, then don't worry about it. But I really want that cooler because that hat is cool. I was like, bro, we can get this hat anywhere. Like I could go on eBay, I could go on Amazon, get this hat for $5, whatever. Anyway, so
that's wild.
So yeah, we end up losing that. But there's this set of Merry Christmas, hip hip hooray, like these banners that you hang up in your house. I don't know how well you can see that. So we won that. My daughter bid on that. That was $25.
That's funny.
One of our other neighbors works at a like a supplement company here, and they do like health supplements and stuff like that. So I bid on it $25, not thinking that I would win. I was the last bidder. So it's like $150. You can't see $150 value thing. A 1 month 1 month package of supplements. That was good. And then my daughter somehow bid on these 2. I don't know what you said. These 2 coffee cups.
Okay. Yeah.
So one says most likely to be on the naughty list and most likely to be on the nice list. My daughter won that for $12. So here's the Fresh Fin Poke Restaurant. It's 2 $20 Fresh Fin Poke gift cards and a beanie. I was the one who bid on that. I got $30, so that's cool. I was fine with that. And then I guess my daughter bid on this spa night at home kit that had like I don't know, like those like bath bombs and body oils, bath milk, all this stuff. My daughter bid on that. $35. $35. And I was funny. Like, what the heck? So yeah, and then that supplement pack was $25. So all in all, I think it was like $127.
Now, are you obligated to pay once bidding is over?
Oh yeah. I mean, so the lady like just texted everybody last night, was like, "Hey, here's my Venmo, or you can pay in cash or check or whatever." So I'm paying Venmo today.
So what if you left your son alone?
I need to pay right now, so I don't forget.
If you left your son alone, and he ran up, he tried to get them Conor McGregor gloves,
bruh,
and he ended up at like $900.
I had to pay it. I'd have had to pay it, honestly.
Oh man. That would not be a fun night for you.
No, I would not have been happy. But that's why you don't take your kids to a silent auction.
Yeah.
You just don't, because you don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, see, the thing is, they had like face painting there. They had like all these like different flavors of hot cocoa. So people just walking around, talking, mingling. And you could see people like walking up and down the silent auction lines. And I was like, I was just looking around. I was like, oh, this is a fun little event, blah, blah, blah. And so you're not paying attention to everything that you're doing. You know what I'm trying to say? You're not putting in the rationale of what's about to go down at the end if you win all those bids. So, yeah, man, but it's whatever, And the end of it all, I know how extremely blessed me and my family are, beyond belief. Like I can't even like, express like how much we're blessed compared to a lot of people, and really compared to, the people who the money is going to benefit. So it's whatever, man. The little bit that I have to donate, in this scenario, pay out in this scenario as a donation, it's probably not even as much as I probably should be donating, and honestly, so I'm happy to be able to donate it, and it's going to a great cause, and it's going to help out a lot of people, because I've seen some of these people in person. I met these people, these type of people that this is going to, and yeah, man, just imagine not having enough resources to be able to provide for your kids. Just a simple $5 Christmas present. Like, I mean, it's just insane, especially kids these days, and even kids in our day. We always wanted something that was more expensive than our parents probably ever wanted to spend. In a lot of those cases, if you were blessed enough, a lot of those cases, your parents would find a way to get it. They put on layaway at Woolworth or something like that.
Oh yeah, I remember layaway.
And they would find a way to make it happen. So, or they buy it on credit, in some scenarios. So, this is helping these people who can't, necessarily help themselves, who are trying to find a way back. So I definitely, definitely don't have a problem doing that. So,
yeah.
It is what it is. But yeah, man, so just be aware of taking your kids to a silent auction. Oh, well. All right. Let's see here. So, let's see what's next up on our docket. So let's see here. Okay. So speaking of going places, right, with a bunch of other people, being trapped there and not thinking about really what's happening. And the next thing you know, you're trapped in this location. So earlier this week, I saw a story online where it looked like, let's see, and I sent you the story. I saw a story where, some people were trapped. Some people in England were trapped at a pub, right? They were trapped at an English pub for, let's see here, how long was it? I think it was 8 days at that point, and they had been snowed in. So the snow came, trapped these people in the pub, and they literally could not get out of this pub for days. So what did they do? Sat there, had a good time, drank the drinks, ate whatever food was available, all this stuff. And they had a jolly old time. And it's interesting because it seemed like everybody was just cool. It had been like, 7 or 8 days. And, everybody was good. And it was like constantly snowing outside. So it's not like they could dig their way out, right?
Yeah, true.
So.
But electricity was still on, right?
Electricity was still on too. Yeah.
Okay.
So that made it even better. Okay. So they had fire. They had their heat. They had electricity. They had the lights. They had food, what little whatever the pub had stocked in the kitchen. And then they had all the alcohol and regular liquids that they could drink, at their disposal. So I was like, you know what, man, if I was trapped somewhere, that probably wouldn't be that bad of a spot. You know what I'm trying to say? Got everything I need. Everybody's happy because there's alcohol, even though there are people who get drunk and belligerent. But in that scenario, it seemed like everybody was like singing, dancing, having a good old time. So if there was a place that you got stuck in for more than 7 days, what type of business would it be? What would you, as soon as you find out, man, we probably can't leave here for a couple of days.
Be like, all right. I'm cool.
And then it's like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. What type of business would you prefer to be stuck in?
Free play. Free play is
what is free play?
Free play is a place here. Is like I want to say it's kind of like let's just say if Dave and Buster's are, I don't want to say Chuck E. Cheese. Let's say Dave and Buster's was like in the 80s. So it's all 80s and 90s pinball and arcade games, all free to play. You pay one entry fee for like $40, maybe 20. I'll say somewhere between 20 and $40. That's a big gap, and then you could play all these games, which are like maybe over 100 games on the original arcade pinball machines for free.
Nice. Okay.
And there's a bar, there's a restaurant inside, so you got all that. Man, I do that.
That sounds good. That sounds like Dave and Buster's. That sounds like what's that place called? Main Event.
Main Event. There you go.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. That's a good place.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
I was playing Gauntlet last time I went. I played old school Gauntlet on the arcade like we used to play.
What?
Ninja Turtle. Yeah, there's all the old 80s games and 90s arcade games there. So that's the place I'd go. And be happy for 7-8 days.
Yeah. I think that would be pretty dope, especially if it was free to play, right?
Yeah, it's free to play.
It's free to play. You didn't have to wait long for you didn't have to wait long to get next game. You know what I'm trying to say? Because in the arcade you always have to put your quarter up there or something like that, or have to wait in line for next game. So especially like if you have a scenario like that, say this place, say you get there on a day or on an afternoon, night, whatever, that's not one of their busier nights. So it's not at full capacity, right? Mm-hmm. So you ain't got to wait long to go play Street Fighter 2 Tournament Edition. You know what I'm trying to say? You ain't got to wait long to play Mortal Kombat 2 or Gauntlet or Pac-Man or whatever it is. Yep. Old school, that would be fun. That would be a really fun place. I'm trying to think. So I think the pub place would be a really cool place to be. Just because you got food, you got drinks, you got all that stuff. I'm trying to think another place that I believe that I would like, I could be stuck in for that amount of time and be cool. It would be like a basketball arena or, a basketball arena because you got something fun to do. They got food, snacks, and like in a place like that, you got space. Now, if you go to if you go to a game that's like packed with people, now that's going to be a problem. You go to a game that has 10,000 people there. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. But a basketball arena, cool. Not a hockey place because it's too cold up in there. Football place, maybe so. Because a football arena, and this is enclosed. This is not like an open air stadium or anything like that. And then also probably like a Walmart or like Super Target type of place or Sam's or Costco. Mm-hmm. Only because they have food and they have other things to do outside of just like being there.
But would they let you eat that food for free?
They better after a couple of days because everybody gonna kill everybody.
And then, of course, see Costco. They sell what do you call it? Let's just say air fryer ovens and things like that to cook the food, microwave. Okay. So would they let you use all that at your disposal? So you have like a long line of people trying to heat up a hamburger in the microwave.
They better. I tell you, they better. I know that Costco, Walmart, places like that, they both have like their own like, little food court type of thing.
Yeah.
And, I know there's only so much that you can get from there. So I would say if you go to a Costco or Walmart, like on a busy Saturday, a busy Sunday, like right after church time, busy Sunday, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
That place is like packed. Like they better let people eat and use some of the resources that are in there. At least say, hey, we're going to just call this much stuff a loss and you guys can use this, so they pull out 10 air fryers or 5 air fryers, they pull out, a good portion of the food, say, hey, we all stuck in here. And I'll tell you what, the reason why I say that is because A, you don't want anarchy. So people start, fighting each other and trying to overthrow the management. And B, think about how much of a great publicity move that would be if they realized that they were trapped in a store for X amount, and didn't know when the end would be in sight. If they were just like, hey, we're going to take this as a loss because the insurance probably going to pay for it, honestly. We're going to take this as a loss.
True.
And we'll go ahead and let these people have these resources, have this food, go in the back, bake some cookies, go up and get some churros, learn how to make some churros, all this stuff. Eat the bag of pop chips, I'm trying to say, and brownie brittle, I think that would be a great idea. And just imagine the Xbox LAN video game parties that you could have in a Costco or Sam's with all them TVs.
That's true.
It would be amazing.
That's pretty true. Yeah.
If I was management, that's what I would do, I guess.
Yeah. But then you'd have to think about how many people are in this Costco, how many kids are going to be crying to get up on that LAN party and trying to play. Do you have enough Xboxes? Got enough Xboxes in controllers to accommodate all these folks?
They better. Costco should.
Will tensions flare when somebody loses and somebody gets a little bit irate and wants to fight you for killing their person? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot. It would be fun though. It would be fun. And I think the new Halo dropped, so y'all could have like one big Halo party.
That would be amazing. Yeah, I saw that dropped. I got the Game Informer magazine the other day. That's pretty exciting, man. It'll be fun to be able to do that. I think it'll be fun for like a day or two. I think after that, it might be like, all right, we gotta form an exit team. You know what I'm trying to say, so we can get our way up out of here. Yeah. Everybody. Then you see people like stacking. All kinds of chairs and other like materials to get to the roof to pop out the top.
Ain't gonna do a great challenge.
Yeah, right.
You get to the roof.
You see people trying to climb their way out. You see people trying to like find a way to like tunnel.
Yeah. People gonna be forming little clans inside Costco.
Man, that's what it would be, man. It would be
just the frozen food clan.
I'm telling you, man. Hey, dog, I'd be out there. I would definitely probably be like in one of those resources. I'd be in the clan of people. With one of the resources that people need, I'm trying to say, like
toilet paper clan.
The toilet paper clan. I wouldn't care about that, man. I just wipe my butt on the floor. But no,
be like a dog.
Yeah, just like rub it down. But no, I'd be like, you know what? Y'all ain't coming in this food section unless y'all show up, with something to barter with. You know what I'm trying to say? So I would have something like that. But then we'd have to form an alliance with the people who are with like the cooking utensils clan. Because they'd be the ones with all the weapons. They'd have the knives and the spatulas,
It's the microwave clan.
Yes.
This is the barbecue. This is the barbecue pit clan.
You can't cook nothing without us, dog. So that would be interesting. Yeah, man. I just thought that was a really funny story. It sucked, but hopefully they're out by now because at this point it'd be
that
like
actually would make for a really funny movie or
it'd be
TV show. Yeah, stuck inside of a Costco, and everybody starts clanning up and clicking up, and
and then you can have R. Kelly like make the song for the series, like instead of trapped in the closet, like trapped in the Costco. I'm trying to say
that'd be pretty good.
Trapped in the Costco. Oh man, and then it would come out again that he was still into young children, sadly. So, but could you imagine the video? R. Kelly trapped in the Costco.
And freaking Bill Cosby will be hoarding all the pudding.
Oh man. Okay, so did you see the post that we did? We did a post a couple, I don't know, sometime this past week so, where it said Flavor Flav looked like Bill Cosby and Lil Boosie, like old Lil Cosby and Lil Boosie had a baby or something like that. And it was actually sad to see Flavor Flav like that. I mean, maybe it's just because he's old, out of shape.
He is old.
His hairline is back there. I don't know. It looked real bad.
Yeah, Flav well into his 50s. Could be close to 60, maybe. He well into his 50s, I know.
Yeah.
I think so, maybe.
Flavor Flav. Yeah.
So maybe.
Yeah. You know, it made me sort of sad to see it, you know, and I saw that one of my friends posted that. So I was like, you know what? I was like, this is hilarious. I'm gonna need to bring that in. And so I posted it on there, and yeah, man, you know, he does look pretty rough. Flav looked pretty rough, man.
He does.
You need to turn back the hands of time of that big clock you got.
For real. Big clock. I'm sure you have a lot of those hanging around the house.
Yes, he does. All right. So speaking of our IG page, you posted a couple of days ago, funniest black buddy cop movie. Let me see if I can go back to that.
Well, not a buddy cop movie, but
buddy cop, but yeah, it's like sort of a black comedy, buddy comedy movie, something like that. So funniest movie out of this collection. So we had Harlem Nights with Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy, which was dope. It's interesting. Eddie Murphy's in 3 of these photos, right? So Harlem Nights, Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy. Life with Martin and Eddie Murphy. Bad Boys, Martin and Will Smith, and then Coming to America, Eddie Murphy and our boy Arsenio Hall. Wow, and we got a lot of good responses, man. So if you have that,
actually
that
not a lot. I'm surprised we didn't get a lot. Yeah,
got a handful. We got
3.
Okay.
It didn't take off. Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4.
We
5.
got 4, but
5.
One of them doubled.
Oh yeah, one of those twice. So all right, so starting 5 podcast says Harlem Nights. I don't know how Danye Shika. Well, let me see which one comes first. So she says 142, which means what is 1? 1 was Harlem Nights, 4 Coming to America, and 2 Life. And then she says 124, which is Harlem Nights, Life, Coming to America. I don't know which one is which. Yeah. All right, so and then we have oh shucks, man, this is bad. Co Drew West.
Yeah.
Coming to America. Co Drew West says Coming to America. Then the Real Everything NCB says Harlem Nights, then Coming to America.
That's my cousin. That's my cousin. And you know what?
Okay.
I will that's my cousin Nikki. Y'all check out the Real Everything NCB because she sells a lot of great products for females and some males, you know.
Wonderful.
Some shades, some fake eyelash extensions, you know what I'm trying to say. So y'all check it out. But I will say what now?
I say the ones that look like butterfly wings.
Yes, indeed, for real.
In your eyes.
Exactly. But I will confirm what she said as far as her pick, because I always remember after Harlem Nights came out, I remember them loving Harlem Nights at that house. So yeah, I know that she's right. So yeah, man, what's your thoughts? Got no love for Bad Boys.
I love Bad Boys. Bad Boys is dope.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I kind of like Life out of all these. I mean, I love Coming to America, love Harlem Nights. But I think for me, Life was a little bit different in tone. I like Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funniest out of those.
I'm looking at them, man, and it's tough. Because Life is the newer, if you want to say newer out of the 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bad Boys came out. The first Bad Boys came out before Life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shucks, man. That's a tough one.
Yeah. I will say unequivocally
Coming to America.
Mm-hmm. because it, without Coming to America, I don't think some of these other movies would have been as successful, as funny.
True.
Because it really showed Black people in a whole new light than you'd ever really seen them in movies before.
Yeah.
And it was true. Black excellence. It was Black royalty. It was, down in the gutter Black people. It was hardworking Black people, which you had already seen,
Mm-hmm.
but you saw them in a whole different way. And it was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. Now, I have watched Harlem Nights over and over again. I have watched Life a lot. And Bad Boys, I loved it. It's funny because my wife, Bad Boys is one of her favorite movies, back in the day. So I think like on one of our first dates or something like that, I brought like a copy of Bad Boys over to her house and we watched it.
Mm-hmm.
We were dating. So, yeah. So, there's a special place in my heart for all those movies. Life was really funny, obviously. But Harlem Nights, shot what's name into Pinky Toe.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what, man? Coming to America.
Yeah.
When you think of garbage, think of Hakeem. Like, think of this. Yeah. There's just so much.
And the thing is, Harlem Nights and Coming to America came out like back to back.
Yeah, like within the same year.
Yeah, like within a year. Yep.
Yeah. All classics.
All classics. All classic movies. I mean, Bad Boys was so good. It came out with 3 of them, and I think they're working on the 4th. So
yeah. So of these, let's see here. The only ones that had sequels was Bad Boys and Come to America, right? There was no Harlem Nights sequel. Yeah, there was no live sequel.
No.
So
I think they were, if I remember reading correctly, they were planning a Harlem Nights sequul. But I guess it just didn't pan out. So
yeah,
and I don't know how you can make a live sequel.
You just make it after they back out. I don't know. No, but yeah, of those sequels, obviously, I think the Bad Boys sequels, I think the Bad Boys sequel came with more fanfare and was better, than the Coming to America sequel. Yeah. I did like Coming to America sequel, but I think they pulled that card way too late. They should have done that sequel.
Yeah,
maybe 2-3 years, 4 years, maybe after the first one.
Yeah,
and then it would hit better. So yeah, man. So that's funny. Funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. So, hey, good job on that. Thank you all, guys. Thank all y'all for y'all's comments on that. And Jay, I know you said you had a couple things you wanted to drop into the pod.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, man. I just found these right before we started recording.
Okay.
Of course, this past week we had another school shooting.
Unfortunately,
unfortunately in Michigan. I don't want to bring the pie down with that type of stuff, but
yeah, man,
thoughts and prayers.
It's life, man. Gotta talk about that.
It's weird because the parents had indications that the son was going to do something like this and didn't, take that advice. They didn't do
anything about it.
Yeah, they didn't do anything. They didn't seek any help for the kid or anything like that.
Apparently that day they sent him a text message saying, "Don't do it."
Yeah, I think after the fact that he did it.
Oh, really? It ended up arriving after the fact. Man, that's crazy. See, this and the parents also, apparently them and the kid, I don't know, I think they all had a meeting with the administration that same morning. This is a situation where you go to that and you and if you're a parent of sound mind and judgment, you're I need to take this kid out today and we need to find some help right now. Because if he is threatening that, if he has a history or a pattern of, building up to something that he's planning to do or she's planning to do, you got to take him out. Take him out of the situation and get him help immediately. Because if you don't, it could spiral out of control fast. And sadly, in this scenario, it did.
Very sad, very fast. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm something like this always kind of gets to me because there's been 2 occasions where there have been incidences at my kids' school, before when my both sons were in primary school. My son said something about one of his classmates saying something to the effect that he has a gun and he's gonna bring it to school or something like that. So I'm saying, did you tell anybody? And he's like, no, I didn't say anything. And I'm like, oh hell. So I had to take it upon myself to contact administration and let them know, hey, I don't know the kids. I can't remember if I mentioned the kid's name, but I just said something to the effect that my son has a classmate that said they were going to bring a gun to school. Didn't say anything about killing anybody, but just that alone, that's triggering. So, that, and then this past year, now my son's in both kids on a bigger campus that goes all the way to 12th grade. And I said, it looks pretty much like a small little community college. Administration has sent emails home saying, hey, there's been an incident of a high schooler with, I guess, some emotional issues threatening the school. So, something like that with the high schooler, and we've seen all these incidents with high schoolers and emotional issues coming to school, shooting up random folks. So it's troubling. You kind of wonder, what's going through some of these kids' minds. Bullying, just a plain old depression, emotional issues. It could be a variety of things that affected them and triggering their mind state to make them want to shoot up everybody.
Yeah, man. It's it's a sad scenario, man. And thankfully you were able to make some contact with your kid's school on that. But no, like, I don't know, man. It's gone are the days where kids show up at school and they throw hands. You know what I'm trying to say?
They don't know how to do that no more.
If you throw hands now, then you're liable to, to be taken out. Instead of, learning to talk about a situation or learning to just get over it, because a lot of these things are just like petty squabbles, or like petty, like people just saying things, and bullying, I'm trying to say, saying things, saying words and stuff like that to kids, and constantly bombarding them. And back in the day, for me, and I got quote unquote bullied with my name, right? So I heard all kinds of stuff about my last name and all the jokes. And at some point, I'm sure at some point when I was a kid, I didn't know what they were referencing. And then when I finally understood the reference, I think there was a point where it sort of got to me. But at some point, I don't know if it was like talking to my parents about it or just maybe my personality. I was just like, you know what, man? You can say what you want. It ain't gonna hurt me. You know what I'm trying to say? And I'm not gonna let it affect me. I never got in a fight, like fisticuffs over it. But then when there was a situation where, something did happen and it turned into a fight, it was like, meet me at the playground, meet me across the street from school, after school. We're gonna handle it. And you handle it as men and women, as young men and women, with your fists and with your feet. And then when it was over, it was so crazy. A lot of times, some of those fights, the same people that you got in a fight with,
you went back playing
later the next week or the next school year, something like that. You were friends with them, and you never gotten in an issue again. I had a friend, I had this dude who like came and met me in the restroom one day, and I don't know why he wanted to fight me, but it's like, man, it's like, I'm gonna beat you up today, man. I'm gonna meet you across the school when you walking home. So so we had a little altercation after school, and then after it ended, went home. Then like, I don't know, then the next school year and every year after that, we were friends. I even seen the dude at the gas station, like when we like got out of high school. I was like, what's up, man? He's like, hey, what's up? We talked and it was it. I was like, I don't even know, I don't even know. It's crazy.
Respect the hands, man.
So back in the day, exactly. Back in the day, that's how it was. And even if you get into a fight in the school, like I seen people get their heads smashed into like these porcelain like water faucets and stuff like that. That type of stuff happened. People bleeding straight up in the school. And afterward, they became friends. If they didn't become friends, it is what it is. But it was settled. It was done. Nowadays, people like to take it out with weapons, which is ridiculous.
It's sad, man. You know, we had this talk with the kids in the car yesterday coming back from the karate tournament, and you know, my youngest, he's scared of hurting somebody. You know, he's scared of fighting. You know, and he says, you know, sometimes people at school kind of call him names. I'm like, well, you need to learn how to counter that. And you know what happened to the mama jokes? Your mama jokes. What happened to the?
I'm telling you, Doug. Like
nobody knows how to throw it back at other people. You know, with words. You know, now a lot of times those your mama jokes can turn into fisticuffs and fighting. But you know, still, you got to know how to throw it back, catch it, and throw it right back to them. So
exactly.
You know, nowadays it's just I take it in all these words and I bottle it in. And then I'm gonna let it out.
Yeah, in one foul swoop. Yeah.
Yep, one final swoop. There you go. You know, and that's not for everybody, but you know, there's a lot of emotional kids out there that don't know how to turn that type of negative stuff around and put a positive spin on it.
It's just like I'm all for keeping the peace. Like I'm all for not getting to a confrontation of any level, fight or whatever beyond that argument. You know, even if it's an argument, you know, I would much rather it be handled in an argument and then like sort of like let the steam blow over and be done with, rather than getting to an escalated area of that. But I definitely think, man, these days, as I'm looking at this poster of this play that I did back in the day called Blue Orange, there's a person with sort of multiple personalities. I think kids these days, maybe it's stuff that they see in the media, maybe it's stuff they see on social media, maybe it's stuff that they just see in general. And the expectations on kids now are a little bit different than they were, or a lot different, I guess, than they were when we were kids. Because I think these kids, what is glorified now is when kids or when somebody makes fun of something, when somebody disses something, when somebody has a negative attitude towards something. That's more glorified now than it used to be. So, which is highly unfortunate. So I think these kids go to the mode in their mind of like, oh, this is going to be a negative situation. Let's go ahead and make the situation happen. So they could be videotaped and it could go viral. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like the whole World Star thing when that all started, and that really kicked off. Like, unfortunately, I think World Star, started. I think it popularized something that turned into a monster that has spiraled way out of control. Because how many times now do you see a video of an altercation or something bad happening to somebody, like in a subway or something like that, and you see 5 or 6 phones in the video capturing it, and you don't see anybody there trying to find a way to keep the peace? And if you do have somebody in that scenario who find a way to keep the peace, there's always somebody in the comments like, "Why did you stop him? We wanted to see what was going to happen." Like, that's not going to make the world go round. You know what I'm trying to say? If you're out here fighting people, I mean, hey, get it out, like fisticuffs, right? But if you see somebody taking advantage of the situation, or or bullying somebody or somebody like that, what is the use to videotape it? Because in this moment, it's not going to help.
Yeah,
go find somebody to help, or find a way to get a group of people to help.
That's true. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the only way I see videotaping somewhat helping is if it's
for proof or something.
For proof, let's say in most of the incidences we've been seeing the past few years with cops doing craziness to unarmed civilians.
That's the way. Yeah,
that and then I think I've even mentioned on before, like I even feel a certain way about that, whether me as a citizen should intervene with that particular situation versus just pulling out my phone and recording. Like if I see a cop kneeling on a man's neck for so many minutes and they can't breathe, I would feel a certain way if I'm just holding my phone and not trying to stop it.
Yeah, I think this is what's so sad, man, because there's a lot of situations like that where people have intervened, especially after the George Floyd tragedy. people have intervened and they've gotten arrested or they've gotten, fought back from the cop or whatever it is. And, in those scenarios, it seems like people don't want to put themselves in harm's way.
Yeah.
And sadly, one of the things is like, if I guess one of the greatest like virtues, if you will, is if you can go and risk your life for somebody, I'm trying to say friend or family member, whatever it is, or person that you don't even know. If you're going to risk your life for somebody, that shows the quality of the type of person you are, and some people are hesitant to do that. So what I've seen a lot of time now is people will be recording in that same scenario and confronting the cop or confronting the individual, like loudly, verbally saying, this is illegal, stop it. The person can't breathe, like all this stuff, I'm trying to say. And I think in a lot of those scenarios since the George Floyd thing, because before we saw it and it didn't turn into a big outrage and outcry in a lot of cases. Sometimes it did. But since then, we've seen a lot more people doing that and really like being loud and confronting the situation. And that people being loud is almost like a siren, like calling attention to it. Mm-hmm. And more people are seeing it. And then all of a sudden the cop realize they're surrounded. Also, what I've seen, which I believe has been amazing to see in some of those scenarios, the other cop that's there, that's helping out, the backup, whatever, comes and is like, hey man, you need to chill. What I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And moves the cop out of the scenario and takes over or handles it, or they've been reporting the cop, So I think that that thing, while it's still prevalent, I think it's slowly changing, and you're getting more and more of these good cops, per se, quote unquote good cops, coming to the rescue of the people who are being clearly wronged in the scenario. And hey, I mean, if somebody who need to be arrested, they need to be arrested. But there's a point where you take it too far. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. And trying to handle that scenario. So I know we got off on like a long spiral tangent, but man, that's scenario in Michigan, man. Oh, it's sad scenario. Every time you see that, sad, man.
Yep. Yeah, man. Well, we'll see. I think all the parents and the kid, all three of them have been arrested recently, from what I seen. But we're gonna see.
Parents tried to get away.
Yeah, they tried to get away. I don't.
They tried to hide or something like that, and apparently it was like the dad's gun or something like that. And
I don't know. I just hear a couple different stories. Like apparently, the dad bought the kid the gun on a Black Friday sale, but the dad was gonna, I guess, keep it for safekeeping or something. And the kid got it and just did what he felt he needed to do. But his life is over. Parents,
his life is over.
No telling what's really going to happen to them. But I'm sure they're all kind of distraught. So
it seems like there's a lot more history to this scenario, this situation, than we actually all know right now. And it'll come out.
It will eventually. It will.
See, and this is, I don't know, man, and I don't know if this is a direct attribution to this, but like the scenario with that little kid in Wisconsin who went to the riot and shot those people. This is, and he got away with it. He literally got away with killing two people and altering somebody else's life forever. When he didn't have to be there. There was no reason for that kid to show up. No reason for him to drive across state lines to show up to something to protect somebody else's property who he was not employed by. He was a child, so, but he got away with it. So this is the sad part, because this is putting the mentality out for some people that they could do stuff and get away with it. And it's privilege. And it's been going on for years.
Oh, yeah.
And it's almost like there's no stopping it. And I'm going to say, oh my goodness, thank God that they convicted that father, son, and like whoever else in the Ahmaud Arbery, case. And they're bringing charges against the DA originally, who tried to hide, who tried to cover it up, or whatever she was trying to do, or delay the arrests and all this other stuff, because she had like a personal, like friendly relationship with the dad or something like that. So thank God that's happening, because that tells you that you can't just do what you want to do all the time. and the tide is slowly turning. Every now and then we get the tide, you get the tide in the right way. Sometimes it goes in the wrong way, but it seems like more and more this is going the right way. And if they retried Zimmerman for Trayvon Martin being killed today, I'd like to see the results today compared to then.
Yeah.
There's so much, man. There's so much.
True.
But then
again, to unpack with that. Yeah.
Then again, you could have a terrible judge like that fool that was up in Wisconsin or Minnesota, wherever it was, who just basically made a mockery of the whole trial, the whole time, and you never had a chance from the beginning. So, yeah. So, but I think the prosecution tried to have a conviction or they tried to get a conviction and brought charges that were going to be a lot harder to get than what they really needed to in that scenario. So I think they shot themselves in the foot initially from a bringing charges, practicality standpoint. They should have kept it simple, and I think it would have worked out more in their favor. So yeah, man, it's just wild, man. It's just a lot of unfortunate stuff, but yeah, man, that's something that we should always talk about that. And if people out there need help, there's so many hotlines, so many people, so many resources, go to somebody. Even if you go to the cops to talk to them, or go to the fire department to talk to them, they have resources. Go to your guidance counselor at school.
Shit.
They all have resources for
parents
people to get help immediately.
Talk to your kids. That's another big thing. Parents need to talk to their kids, and
talk to your kid, but you got to be right kind of parent. You can't be these fools who's the parents of this guy in Michigan.
Yeah,
that's a parent that you don't want. That's a deadbeat.
No, you don't want nothing like that. But parents just gotta basic thing. Ask how their day was. How you feeling? Not I don't know, man. It's a lot, dude.
And really,
it's too much, and it's sad.
That's all I gotta say. And you may not, your kids ain't in this scenario yet, but when they get to like the teenage years, and they get to like have like all these other friends, and they're like in middle school, and they got a phone, and they got all this stuff. Man, teach your kids to stay out of drama.
Yeah,
stay out of drama. Don't get too involved. It could be your friends. You could obviously you can cape up for your friends. That's fine, but when it all boils down to it, you got to know, do I need to do something negative and try to find a way to like detract from the scenario, or do I need to find a positive way or somebody that's an intermediary? Because my son, he came home a couple weeks ago and was like, man, we have a friend that started dating this dude. And it's like in middle school, right? Started dating this dude, and we hadn't even really heard from her. We don't see, and he was like, I don't see her in classes. I just like used to see her in passing or like eat at lunch with her. So I haven't seen this friend in a while. And it all started around the time she started dating this guy. And apparently this guy like made her like delete all her contacts and like not text message her friends and all this other stuff.
Yep.
Not social media. So he was like, we're concerned for her. We don't know where she is. Then there's like a lot of their friend group that was the same. So he was like, we need to go and like try to find her. I was like, no. You talk to your principal, you talk to your counselor, and you say, hey, I'm worried about my friend. I haven't talked to them in 2 weeks. Normally I'd talk to them like every day or every other day, or I'd see them at lunch. I never see them anymore. And this is what happened. This is like sort of the scenario that's happened since the last time I seen her. I need you guys to see if you can find her. And so that's what he did, thankfully. And I think eventually they found out the girl was like, fine and well, but they hadn't seen her. They hadn't heard from her. So this is right on the back of another like kid or something like that. Another kid in this area having gone missing, or having gone like radio silent to the world. Like her parents didn't really know where she was. And this is a whole different kid though. Not at my kid's school, somewhere else, but it's the same, the same city. And nobody knew what happened to her. She just disappeared. And, come to find out I don't know, they found her somewhere else, and she was like, oh, she just wanted to get away or something like that. But when you see like that, when your friend is a scenario like that, and you either suspect drama revolving around a boyfriend or girlfriend or other people like that, or you just don't know where they are, and you're at school, if you don't have access to call their parents or something like that, talk to the school.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to your counselors and principals, because if the kid is going to school, they'll see them. If the kid's not going to school, they'll call their parents. They have a way and a network to find these people.
Yeah.
Don't get into too deep a drama.
Yeah,
put yourself in harm's way.
That sounds like the jealous boyfriend type right there.
That's what it is, man. And that girl needs to get away from that dude with the quickness.
Because once she starts talking just friendly like with one of her male friends, that could spark something in that boyfriend's mind that could possibly put her in danger. And
parents, don't raise your kids to be a little bit. You know what I'm trying to say?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like the boy. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, at this age, you're like, 8th grade, 7th, 8th, 9th grade, like that age range.
Yeah.
Like, what? First of all,
trauma.
There is a almost 100% chance that you're not going to marry that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at this age, you're all just having fun.
Yep.
It should be at least. So why get so serious? Like Joker said, why so serious?
Yeah, kids. Oh boy.
Kids be crazy.
Gosh, I don't want to get to this situation. Sheesh.
Bruh, just wait, man. You just about a year away. A year and a half away.
I guess.
Yep.
I guess.
Anyway, okay, so what else you got to talk about?
Man. Well, I thought this story came across as pretty funny. Mm-hmm. This anti-vaxxer faces charges for using a fake arm during a COVID-19 vaccine.
Do you have that site pulled up?
Hold on. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
A fake arm?
Yes, a fake arm.
To get a COVID vaccine?
Yes.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
How?
So this took place in Italy, and apparently, I guess he had to. Let me see.
Let's see if I can pull
so
this
he's
up.
facing charges of fraud after using this fake arm.
Oh my gosh.
And,
let's see. Wait. Oh no, wrong one. Remove. Wrong one. Sorry. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. Anti-vax. Okay, so just keep talking. I'm gonna
all right. So yeah, this man in Italy faces fraud charges for trying to avoid a COVID-19 shot by using a fake arm. So this 50-year-old showed up to a vaccine center and used an entirely fake arm or a silicone layered skin over his arm. And the health worker didn't catch it at first. I guess they thought it was bizarre, because I guess the color of the arm versus the color of him was a little bit different. So he's obviously he's an anti-vaxxer.
Come on, man.
Send something strange. So I guess one of the healthcare worker told the man to take off his shirt. That's when the plan of the desperate anti-vaxxer fell apart. Okay, so this is the words of this healthcare worker. I felt offended as a professional. The color of his arm made me suspicious, so I asked the man to uncover the rest of his arm. It was well made, but it wasn't the same color. Healthcare workers didn't specify the details of the fake arm. According to the Italian newspaper La Repubblica, the man may have detailed his plan in a post seen on social media. So he told people about the plan on social media, what he was going to do.
I love that people are telling on themselves these days. I love it.
Oh wow! So the Twitter post that the man posted featured an image of a man with a silicone chest and half body suit, along with the fake arms. If I go with this, will they notice? Maybe beneath the silicone, I'll even put on an extra layer of clothes to avoid the needle reaching my real arm. The social media user wrote. Italy recently announced that the unvaccinated people will be barred from several social, cultural, and sporting events. The country has seen an increase in the number of vaccinated people since making the announcement. So the promptness and skill of the healthcare worker ruined the plans of this person, who will now have to respond to the judiciary. Yeah.
Man, you know what, man? Like you gotta be some kind of idiot. You know what I'm trying to say? You gotta be some kind of fool because you think you're gonna show up with a fake arm and it don't match your skin tone.
Yeah.
Just think of me walking up there, a milk chocolate looking fool rolling up there, with the white arm. How am I gonna explain that? I ain't got vitiligo. I ain't like starting to like change colors.
Yeah.
I got one full white arm and one full black arm. How am I gonna explain that?
Yeah. And then you can't move your fingers or anything. So
No. Like make a fist. Make a fist.
Oh well, yeah. Well, he did say it was like a silicone cover over the arm. So maybe he could squeeze his fingers and stuff, but still the color of the arm would have gave it away.
It would have gave it away.
Yeah.
And then just imagine, okay, so I don't know if you ever noticed this, but I've seen this in tennis. I've seen this also in cricket, actually. When you're a tennis player, if you look at their two arms, if one is right-handed, that right arm is like yoked, like it's strong, it's bigger. Then the other arm looks like a little like an arm that shouldn't have been there, like it's tiny. It's like look like a whole nother person's body part put on. And if you look at cricket, the guys they call the bowlers, the ones that throw the ball, it's a similar scenario. Normally, that stronger arm is going to be a bigger, thicker, like arm than the other one. So imagine showing up, just a regular dude showing up looking like that, but you this right shoulder is like, it's like you've been working out that right arm, you know what I'm trying to say, for years, just working it, getting it strong. It's a pause and getting it like super strong. So imagine somebody showing up with like an oversized, like right arm, bicep, shoulder, all that stuff, and like a little tiny, like, the baby arm on this side, whatever.
Malnourished arm, yeah,
like the arm may have enough food, and man, they're trying to get the vaccine. I could, wow, I bet, man, I bet them nurses after they found this out, I bet they had a good laugh, cause like, come on, man. Come on, you gotta be funny. Some kind of, and the food told on himself, like you said.
Yeah, that's what most people do. They tell on themselves in their social media.
It's good, man. I'm glad people telling on themselves these days because more of that.
Yeah, especially for this stupidity.
Need more people telling on themselves because then we look and we say, you know what, you're dumb. You deserve to be in trouble. Wow.
Very dumb. Wow. Well,
See, like if this was like this nurse looking at this dude, he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. You don't give my shot," and she's sitting there, smiling away. But then after the fact, she finds out, and it's hilarious.
Now, what if she said, "I'm going to give you the shot in the other arm"? Sometimes they don't give you the choice.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just say, "Lift up your shirt."
Yep.
Yeah. And sometimes they say, "What arm would you like to get it in?" And so. Wow.
And then sometimes, I'm thinking of the one where they try to draw blood. They have to switch on. But no, man, I think it's funny. Yeah. It's funny. It's sad that the dude, think that he had to do that, but it's funny. So I have a question. So you got the COVID vaccine already, right? Yeah. So are you going to get a booster?
I'm honestly thinking about it now because, like I said, we went to this karate tournament yesterday. Lots of people there.
Oh
with no mask.
Probably have none with masks, huh?
The majority did not. Yeah, the majority did not. We had ours on. We were masked up. Tried to avoid as many people as we could, like in close quarters. But that's very difficult. And then, of course, there's I've heard lots of coughing and sneezing. I even thought I walked through a whole sneeze mist of some old guy in front of me, which was disgusting. So I'm seriously considering it, especially with this Omicron. What is it called? Omicron virus?
Omicron, yeah.
The Transformer virus.
The Transformer virus, the new one.
Variant, I mean. So, yeah. I'm considering it. I don't know yet, but I'm considering it.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually have mine scheduled for this week coming up.
Okay.
I have it scheduled for this week coming up because I don't know, just because I know we have a lot of events, happening over this month, and it's just one of those things. I just with the Omicron and all this stuff, I think it's almost necessary. Now I'm pulling this up, this picture of LeBron James' son, Bronny, right? This is his eldest son. And this was, I guess, last night. His high school played against LeBron's. Actually, LeBron's high school that he played at. So, and they're playing in the Staples Center where the Lakers play. So, if you and this kid, man, LeBron's son, Bronny, that boy is good.
Yeah,
he's a more pure shooter at his age than his dad was, and maybe even now, I don't know. But he also has the fact that his dad is an NBA superstar at his disposal, and he could get a shot coach and all this stuff. Anyway, so speaking of wearing a mask in an event, every kid on LeBron James kids basketball team is wearing, this ad is really getting on my nerve, is wearing their face mask. You see this? Under their chin. But not only is it him, but I don't know if you can see in the background of this, but the other kids on the team, all had the same kind of face mask on. So let's see. They're gonna zoom in a little tighter on this video, and you'll be able to see it better. But I just thought it was super interesting. Let's see. Yeah, see, he's wearing it under there. I just thought it was super interesting. And there's some people in the crowds that are wearing it, but every kid on this team that's on the floor has their mask right under their chin. I don't know if it's a fashion statement. I don't know what it is, but they're all sitting here, with their mask on under their chin. Like, there you go. I don't know, man. It's weird. But I just thought that was funny to see that. So I didn't think it was weird, but obviously the COVID is real. It's really out here in these streets. I've talked to some people, in the past, I don't know, a few weeks, and just as a part of the conversation, it came up, and some of these people I would have expected to have like an anti-vax or COVID's not real, mentality about it, and they're like, no, this stuff is real, especially because if they had it or they know people who had it, and they're like, I don't know why people are still like out here thinking it's not real. And with this variant, we don't know how many people have traveled to the States with that, or with the symptoms of that or whatever since it's been out. And I know that now we have started to we've started to ban travel from these countries that have experienced that a lot, so maybe to try to put a cap on it or whatever, but still it's out here, man. And either with the mask, even though a mask is not 100% effective, it's more effective than no mask, right?
Right. Yeah, that's true.
And my daughter got her first dose of the vaccine.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Did both of your kids get it?
Yeah, my son did because he's over 12, so he's fully vaxxed now. And then my daughter, she's under 12, so she just got her first dose because it's finally available just before Thanksgiving. No side effects. So that's
Or did she get like Pfizer, Moderna?
Trying to think. I think it was the Moderna.
Okay.
I believe. Oh no. Pfizer's the only one that's approved for kids. Young kids. So yeah, she got the Pfizer. Okay. My wife got her booster earlier this week, and I think she said she was feeling like a little nauseous, after the booster for, like that evening, and the next morning she was pretty much fine.
But she got a little queasy from the first ones, right?
Yeah, she did. But it's also interesting because she got the booster was a different vaccine than she got the first time.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, yeah, I didn't know if you could if you had to go strictly with the one that you got initially, or
no. Okay. It is when it doesn't matter apparently if you mix boosters, because the booster is it's a I don't know, it's like a portion of the full vaccine. It's like a percentage of the full vaccine. So you don't have to get the same one. Obviously you can, but it's probably better, honestly, if you get, I think it's better if you get like one of the other ones as your booster, because you're sort of covered in two different ways, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if one's more effective than the others.
We were on the fence about getting, kids theirs. We were going to test the waters a little bit just to see what people were experiencing or kids were experiencing. But I guess eventually we will get it. I mean, my oldest already had COVID. So, I mean, supposedly those antibodies last for a few months. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know.
Definitely check on that. I don't know. I haven't seen, a lot of negative reports, with kids having gotten the boost or the vaccine. I haven't at this point, but I mean, it's not like it's not out there. There's stories out there that you can find, whatever. But yeah, man, if it's if it's something that you feel you need to get, or you need to get for your kids, get it. And obviously talk to the doctor, because with our daughter, with our daughter, we were sort of hesitant at first because, she has food allergies, which, initially she couldn't get some regular vaccines because, or like the flu vaccine and stuff like that, because, some of her allergens were in those vaccines or part of them.
Right.
But, our allergist was like, no, she could take it, and apparently at that point, they had a ton of kids who had taken the booster, up to the time that we had asked her, or not taking the booster, but taking their, both doses and we're fine, no allergic reaction. So I'm happy, that she didn't have a bad reaction to the first shot. And actually after she got her shot, she went like straight to like dance class. So
that's cool.
She was fine. So yeah, man, she'll get her second dose here within the next couple of weeks. I'll be getting my booster this week, and then I need to get my flu shot sometime the next few days too. So
yeah, I got to do that. I'm the only one in the whole house that doesn't have a flu shot.
Yeah.
It's so weird, man, because I didn't start getting flu shots until I moved to Texas and my job started offering free flu shots.
Yeah.
I was just like, I may as well get it.
Yeah.
And I never got the flu until I started getting a flu shot. Then I started.
Is that right? That's crazy.
Yeah. So
I got it, and I have not gotten it since I've gotten the flu shot. So I mean, I don't know. I think with a lot of these vaccines, and obviously, it's honestly with any kind of sickness, it is just like, it's like you never know. Like you never know if you're going to get it. Like it just happens, right? Or you're in a group of people, or around people that are sick or whatever, and like you don't know, and like you get sick. Like I heard this girl in the store yesterday. Like she sneezed. I swear she sneezed like 4 or 5 times in a row. She was on the aisle, I think like 2 aisles down or something like that. But it sounded like she was sneezing out her whole insides. And I was like, we're gonna avoid that aisle if we can. But with some of these vaccines, like I think it is, and what I've heard with the COVID vaccine, how your body reacts to it is more based on your blood type. I think some blood types have no reaction, and some people with certain blood types have had a reaction, and that's like been documented. And I didn't have a reaction, and apparently my blood type, was one of the blood types that wouldn't, didn't have a negative reaction. So I don't know, man. It just depends.
Cool. Yeah,
it just depends.
I'll see. What amazes me is that I've seen people sneeze and cough with their mask on their chin, and then right after they do that, then they put it over the nose. Like sometimes I just wonder. I just wonder about the intelligence of people.
I mean, at some point, you just gotta know that everybody's stupid. Just say, okay, I'm just gonna assume that everyone's stupid. Yeah, I'm just assuming that everybody's stupid until you prove otherwise. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I've seen that before too. People with their mask down on their chin just coughing and sneezing away. They just leave it there. I'm just like, but
yeah.
And then they look around. Oh, okay. Yeah. So speaking of, when My wife, let's see here. My wife, when we were waiting at at the hospital, like I guess like urgent care waiting room or whatever,
Mm.
it was a bunch of random people in there. Nobody was sitting right on top of each other unless you're like family. So it is what it is. So there was a guy who showed up, and I guess he recognized one of the other guys who was there. So he started talking to him, sort of across the room, and you know, and the guy was like, "Oh, what are you in here for?" And this guy was like, "Oh, man, the past 2-3 months, I just been feeling really bad, like just feeling like sick, like weird, like it's just I just been feeling like low energy and like all this other, just not feeling really good at all." And it's like coughing and like sometimes I get a fever and like all this stuff, and it's like I'm just and he's looking around, he's like, and he's like talking to this dude, like holding his mask down, right? He's talking to him, and he's like, and I don't think it's COVID, but we're going out of town. And like as he said that, he's looking around the room, right? I don't think it's COVID. Like looked me dead in the eye. I was like, this fool. And he was like, but we're going out of the country next week, so I just want to make sure,
Okay.
And I was like, first of all, you've been having these sick symptoms
and you're not checking
for
it out.
months now or weeks, whatever. You haven't gotten it checked out. Obviously, you're one of these like anti-vax fools or something like that. I don't know. Obviously, you're one of these people who don't really care about COVID that much because you're sitting there, saying that it's not COVID, but you're feeling sick and you're about to go out of the country for a few, for a week or two. So come on, man. And I was like, dude, I don't know. He's another fool who just told on himself. If they find out that he had COVID, he told on himself, and then he won't be able to take his trip when he probably could have got that checked, 2 months before or whatever it was that he started feeling bad. So I don't know, man. I don't understand it. I don't know.
That's wild.
Some people, man.
Anyway,
some people.
Wow.
Anyhow,
did you watch the Versus this past week with Bone and 3-6 Mafia?
I didn't see it. I saw that it was on, but I did not get the chance to check it.
It was wild. They start fighting on stage, man.
Oh, I did see the fight though.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't a long fight, but it was a fight. Busy Bone and Juicy J were going back at it, and all of a sudden a mic got thrown from one side, and then just start rushing. Both sides just start rushing.
Yeah.
But it was great. I thought it was probably the best one for me, the best Versus, because I was a big Bone fan in high school, big 3-6 Mafia fan in high school. College.
Yeah, same. So, yeah. Speaking of,
it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's weird because like, why are they fighting each other? I mean,
it's great
isn't Bone Thugs like California and 3-6 Mafia is like. Where are they from?
No, Bone is from Cleveland.
Okay,
Bone
that's right.
Cleveland.
That's right. Yeah, Cleveland. Yeah. I don't know why I thought California.
3-6 Mafia is from Tennessee, Memphis.
That's
Memphis
right.
10.
Tennessee, Ohio. I think they're fairly close.
Yeah, fairly.
But still, you wouldn't like a what do you call it, like a rivalry?
Well,
to say between
it happened way back in the day because if you know both of their styles and their subject matter, they're very dark, like horrorcore type subject styles and stuff. Way back in the day, there was some beef because one crew thought that the other crew kind of jacked their style and made it bigger. So I think 3-6 thought that Bone took their whole vibe and their whole style and whatever got big and just completely jacked it, Yeah. But they just had similar styles, and of course you get people in somebody else's ear and they start talking and saying stuff and things happen. But yeah, it was wild. It was a great matchup, and they came together at the end, and apologies were given out and stuff. So
yeah.
It was what it was, man. But it was a good showing. It was a great showing. Lots of guest appearances from Chameleonaire made a guest appearance on stage. Who were riding dirty. With Crazy Bone. So that was good to see Chameleonaire back in the scene. On stage rapping again. So Lil Flip, a lot of Houston people came on stage.
That's cool. I didn't see that.
Yeah,
Let's see if I can go back. Is there a way to go back and watch it?
YouTube has the whole video.
The whole
somewhere.
video? Okay.
Yeah. I think it's probably like a couple hours long.
Yeah, I definitely would check it. I saw that it was live. I saw they were doing Versus Live. I saw it on Instagram, but I think I scrolled away from it, so I didn't have a chance to watch it. But yeah, man. But I don't know. It's funny because just like we were talking about earlier, they come to fisticuffs. You know what I'm trying to say? If it got to that,
Yeah.
And these guys are older now, so they're not young and as hot-headed as they were before.
These dudes are like late 40s, possibly early 50s. So
yeah,
I guess I don't know, man.
It's not worth it. I think what. I'm pretty sure I heard that Bone Thugs is coming here to perform with.
Oh, nice.
Ice Cube or Dr. Dre. Ice Cube.
Okay.
I think they're coming here like in February.
Actually. Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, so that's it's at one of these big amphitheaters that they have here because we'll get a lot of really good national acts that show up, or international acts that
that's
show
pretty
up.
cool.
So yeah, and every now and then we get like a really good rap group or old rap group, or people who are beyond their time, like when Snoop Dogg showed up, even though he's still rapping.
Oh yeah, Snoop's still doing a lot of stuff.
Dr. Dre and Cube and stuff like that will always come. So it's cool. I think Joey Badass came here.
Nice.
A couple years ago too.
I like Joey Badass,
and I missed that one. So yeah, man. It's interesting. I don't know if I'll be able to go to that Bone concert, but I'd love to. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I'd have been all up in there in high school.
Yeah.
I went to a Gangsta Boo concert.
Oh yeah,
Gangsta Boo concert, like when I was 16.
Where them dollars at? Where them dollars at?
That was
Mobbing
cool.
heavy in my Chevy, baby. It's Gangsta Boo. I remember.
Yeah, Gangsta Boo's cool. I like her.
Yeah, that was the jam. All right. Well, what else we got? Voicemails?
Let's go with the voicemails, man. Let's go with the voice. I had wizards in the the wizard in New Zealand. Yeah, there was. I didn't even know their wizards were a thing, but apparently there's a wizard of New Zealand. But it's too much of a story for me to even go through. So yeah, let's just bypass it. Everybody could look up a wizard in New Zealand. The only wizard in the world that's been appointed by the city council.
That's funny. Okay, so talk about it. Talk about it because I'm trying to log in because I switched phones. Right. So I haven't even logged into this.
Like I said, people, this is a long, super long article about a wizard in New Zealand that has apparently let me read you the article title. A New Zealand city is taking its official wizard off the payroll after over 2 decades. So he's been a wizard for 2 decades, performing quote unquote miracles type things, performing rain dances and other acts of wizardry and other wizard-like services as part of his promotional work for the city of Christchurch. Ooh, I say that backwards. Christchurch, the city of Christchurch, New Zealand. Interesting. And a wizard, Christchurch. Yeah. So I don't know what more I could say about this. His career spanned from academia to wizardry. I just feel like I'm gonna see a Hogwarts in here somewhere.
Well, it's coming.
Yeah. This
fool look like Gandalf. Look at that.
He does.
This fool look like Gandalf.
Gandalf the Grey. I love his well, it's very pause worthy. I love his staff in hand.
You trying to say that so fast?
I mean, I don't. It sounds very questionable, but yeah, I love his. He got a long staff in his hand.
Yep. Long curly staff.
Yep. So yeah, he's a wizard. What more can I say? He was a wizard for a couple decades. So,
wow.
Yeah. There you go. Just look up a wizard. I don't know what more to say. The only wizard in the world. that's been appointed by the city.
Like, I wonder if he actually is doing things as like, like make a chicken appear and then like a chicken appears. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, is he like a magician?
I mean, they said something about alchemy in here somewhere in this super long article. Living in an alchemical.
Got a nice Nikon DSLR too. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
This dude up here. Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe he's like an alchemist of some sorts.
Yeah.
So he noted that this would likely carry in the area of blessings, spells, and curses and other supernatural matters that are beyond the competence of mere prime minister. So that's what he was helping out with.
Wow.
I guess they needed a little bit of extra stuff. Maybe there's a dragon somewhere in New Zealand
they need to slay the dragon.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
They need to take the ring to Sauron's eye and burn and drop it in the fire.
Yep. He's gonna like what did he do? The whistle and a big old butterfly came and grabbed him. Or was it a big old eagle? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Whatever it was. It was a moth. He blew a moth he whispered into a moth's ear. If a moth has ears, the moth flew away, came back with a giant flying something to grab him off the tower. Yeah, that was in one of those Lord of the Rings. Anyway,
that's hilarious.
A wizard. There you go.
I'm shook. I really honestly, just want to know if he's like the commissioner of the Quidditch League. I'm trying to say, from Harry Potter, if they're out there in these streets playing Quidditch, and he's the one that's making the rules. Trying to lock the players out from playing Quidditch if they haven't come to a collective bargaining agreement.
True.
I want to know if he, is, basically going and officiating weddings and, making sure that, he's blessing them with with his wizard hand, so they can have.
Would you go to, I know we talked about this long ago, and I think one of our early episodes about there being a black Hogwarts in Wakanda. Would you, if there was a Hogwarts, a black Hogwarts, or just a Hogwarts, and you were able to attend that school, the Hogwarts of Houston,
H-Town Hogwarts,
would you attend? It would be a private school. You'd have to go there. You'd have to live there. It would be you would go.
I would go. I would go just because, hey, you get to learn to be a wizard, like hood wizardry. Like imagine the hood wizardry.
You'd have like the flying J's.
The flying J's, man.
You put on them J's and you could fly. You could be invisible.
I mean, you'd be able to jump longer and higher than Mike ever could.
But
like imagine
that basketball team.
Yeah,
crazy.
They had the best basketball team. Imagine like having like your, like your little like magic wand. You know what I'm trying to say? Be like purple stuff, and then all of a sudden like a double cup. You just get
Alakazam,
right?
Purple stuff in a pimp cup.
Purple stuff in a pimp cup. Like you just like oh man, just imagine if you had a candy red like Crown Vic or like Eldo, you had like a slab and you just like, learn how to make it fly. You know what I'm trying to say? Or hover, or you wouldn't even have to hit the switches. You would just like have to, you have to like, spin your magic wand and then like trunk would pop. You know what I'm trying to say? Speakers would come up and it'd be banging screw. But come on, man.
The crazy thing about it is, in these Hogwarts, in the Harry Potter movies, you wasn't really supposed to bring your wizardry out of the school in a sense. But everybody from the H-Town school of Hogwarts would be using for all kind of dastardly deeds. across the city of Houston.
I'm telling you, man. With the way them fools in Houston act, man, the Astros would never lose a World Series, even though they're dirty cheaters.
Somebody would sneak into the stadium with their wine. Opposing team would be throwing just not strikes, but what they think would be strikes, and then be all balls flying out of the stadium.
They'd be throwing like BP flat fastballs, like batting practice fastballs. Everything would be a home run. The game would have to be forfeited during the first inning because the score would be 47-0 every game. That's what they would do, I'm telling you, man. Though, but in H-Town, man, like there would be so much wizardry happening. Like the whole city would be like flipped on its head. Like it would be insane. I would definitely go to H-Town Hogwarts. But imagine if H-Town Hogwarts got together with like Louisiana Hogwarts. Like, what city would you claim, Louis? Would you claim Opelousas? Would you claim Lafayette?
I mean, that's my. I mean, if it was a Lafayette Hogwarts, and that would be the school, the only one in the
New
state.
Orleans Hogwarts, yeah.
I got accepted. I would definitely try to go.
They already think they got voodoo down there. You know what I'm trying to say? So
true, very
y'all
true.
Y'all would learn like the dark arts and the light arts. Y'all would be knowing all kinds of stuff.
Oh man, be the Slytherin.
Imagine if every state had their own Hogwarts.
That would be Florida would be all over the place.
Florida would be that would be the most unpredictable state of all.
Like you have Florida Man, it'd be Florida Wizard.
Oh no. Every news story, Florida wizard attacks group of innocent bystanders. Yeah, man, that would be
Florida wizard takes control of Epcot Center. Florida wizard moves into the Walt Disney World Castle.
Oh man, that would be hilarious. It would be great, man. I think that would be great. I think if there was a Hogwarts of each state, it would be pretty epic, what they would learn. I mean, in Utah, the Hogwarts here, they would learn how to make fry sauce and funeral potatoes. That's what they call it. Funeral potatoes are basically potatoes au gratin with like hash brown potatoes instead of like sliced potato. That's all it is. And fry sauce is ketchup and mayo mixed together. That's their claim to fame here. That's their two food types. So yeah, man, it would be interesting, man. It would be interesting. But actually, there probably is some kind of version of Hogwarts here for the Mormon culture. Those people who are like underground polygamists. So it's already probably in these streets, and we don't know it.
Probably,
that's how they keep control of the state government. Anyhow, all right, that's pretty funny.
All right. On to the voicemails.
Yeah, on to the voicemails. So yeah, tell the people where they can leave us voicemail, Jay.
All right, people, 385-3BLAKPC or 385-325-2572. Excuse me. So you could give us a little call. Let us know what you think. What would your state's Hogwarts look like? What kind of shenanigans would you guys be getting into?
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Let us know. Okay. So we have, we have 9 voicemails.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Because we forgot Thanksgiving week. We have 5 from that week alone. So want to go through all of them?
Sure. If they're short, yeah, let's just blaze through them and call it a day.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I'm just having a moment. Oh, this is Kayla. And I wanted to ask you guys a question. So I might have to call you back because my phone's tripping. But I'm just so disgusted. I'm not disgusted, but I'm just disappointed. And I'm going to call y'all back when I stop being disappointed. Okay, bye.
All right, here we go. I think she calls back right after that.
Hey, y'all. So it's me, Kayla. Okay, so the other night I went out hung out with my motorcycle friends, you know, to a birthday party at a motorcycle club. And, you know, I must admit, I was cute. You know, had my leather jacket on with my spikes, you know, my boots, you know, had my, you know, little motorcycle tire on, had my, you know, rider pearl shirt because, you know, I have a motorcycle t-shirt line. You know, I have to represent. So, you know, represent that, you know, looking cute and stuff, you know. This is a stop sign? No, it's not a stop sign. Is this a stop? Hold on, y'all. So, anyways, how many minutes I get? Let's see. I don't know. It may hang up. But anyway, this guy, you know, he's sitting, he comes to the table, he's friends with somebody, because the birthday girl, and he's sitting, you know, he sits beside me, and, you know, I've seen him before, you know, no biggie. And he said, hey, I've been looking for you, that's the line, for a shirt. I want this shirt. I said, well, I have a store. I have an online store. I don't, you know, have the shirts on me. It's just real easy to have an online store because you can just go and order what you want. And like you order Harley Davidson stuff for your bike and Harley, you know, stuff like that. Okay, I don't know if my minute's running out, so I'll call you back.
It's like the longest story ever, Kayla.
Okay, that's me again. Okay, so it's Kayla. Hey, y'all. So, you know, I'm telling him where to get the stuff, shirt in. I knew who he was. So you know, he pulls out a picture that he took on Beale Street of me and some of his friends. He's like, you remember this picture? I was like, yeah. He's like, you know, I still got that picture. I was like, oh, wow. And so I get up and I say, hey, can you watch the table? Because everybody else is on the dance floor, and I got to go to the bar because they were selling some fried chicken. Ooh, the chicken was good. I only had 2 pieces, y'all. I only had the flats, okay? Calm down. So anyways, he said, oh, you want me to, you know, guard the table? You want me to guard you? And I'm like, no, just guard the table. You're so silly. So people come back to the table and they said, Al, you still here? And he said, yeah, man, I can't seem to leave, man. She, man, I'm single. I wonder if she's, man, you know, I really, man, I like where I'm sitting right now. So, you know, I'm like, so, long story short, you know, he's sitting there, he's telling me he don't drink and this and other, you know. He's asking me about my bike and stuff, you know, he has a road glide, and I have a road glide special, so, you know, we're talking about the bikes. And then, I'm going to hang up because I don't know how much time I got.
Girl, you need to charge this phone, girl. Got to charge your phone. All right.
So, you know, we're just chatting. You know, we're just having a nice conversation. We're just chatting, okay? We're just chatting. We're just having a nice conversation chatting, okay? Remember, we're just having a nice combo, all right? So, so, you know, he ends up leaving, and so my friend girl was like, oh, I think she really like you. I think you really like you, Kayla. You know, I know you're single and everything, and I'd be glad if you meet somebody. And I'm like, I ain't in a hurry. I'm not going to be acting desperate. You know, when it happens, it'll happen. You know, that's my thing is when it happens, it'll happen. You know, I'm not in a hurry, okay? So I'm not desperate. It's a different kind of life on a motorcycle set, man. We'll talk about that one day. But anyway, so he like, you know, I'll be checking for you around sometimes. Don't be a stranger. I'm like, yeah, okay, I got a life. I love motorcycles, but I have a life outside of motorcycles too. So I'm talking on the phone to one of my friend girls. And yes, fellas, we women talk about you men. Yes, we do. Yeah, we do. The bad and the good and the ugly. So my friend and I are talking, and so, you know, she was like, I thought that she was really cute and stuff, you know, and I'm like, yeah, because I sent her a picture, you know. So I'm like, yeah, you know, I met somebody, but, you know me, it takes me a minute to warm up to a person, especially when trying to get into my space. And so she says, what's your name? And she said, "He's from Memphis." I'm like, "Yeah." She said, "What's his name?" So I tell her. She goes, she described him. And I said, "Yeah." Oh, I'll tell you the next part. Because I don't know when it's called on drop. Shit.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so the 5th in a 5-part miniseries.
Short. So she goes, "Yeah. Wait, we used to talk. Oh, this man here, y'all. Hey." She said, "Oh, yeah, we used to talk." And I said, "Y'all never seen each other?" She was like, "No, we used to talk, a lot." And she was like, "I still have the inboxes of when we talk." I said, "I don't want to know what y'all talked about." She goes, he likes to shave his body. He doesn't like hair. He loves to shave his body. He got a nice body. I still don't say that. I say, "Well, whatever you got on that inbox, don't show me, because I don't want to see." Well, the little trifling heifer, send it anyway. She goes, "Yeah, he sent me this. A picture of his winning whacker." Several pictures. So,
oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna, that's that on that. Because that's one thing that I don't do. I don't come if y'all share one kiss. And besides, can y'all single men out there explain to me why y'all always inboxing y'all Jimmy Johnson, y'all Jabba the Hutt? Can you tell me why? I'm just trying to figure out why. And I'm sure the women are just as bad. Some of the women are just as bad.
Listen to this reference.
Because they're showing their Louises and Mary Poppins. So I'm pretty sure they're just as bad too.
The Mary Poppins.
But it just turned me off. It just, because you're probably doing that, So I didn't say anything else to my friend girl. And that will be the last time I bring him up. I love my friend girl because she's good people, but
yeah. Wow. All right, that was the last.
The Mary Poppins.
The Mary Poppins, the Jimmy Johnson, the Willy Whacker.
Jabbas.
Wow. Yeah, we just binge listened to the 5-part series of Kayla's dating experience that she does not want to turn into a dating experience. Apparently, yeah, that's crazy. It's
amazing.
It's the funny, but like it's wasn't there a song called like "Same Girl" or something like that where everybody knew this, everybody hooked up with this same girl.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was.
There is. Same girl, same girl. I can't remember who sings it now. Maybe an Usher song. I can't remember. It's not that old. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, the same dude. And yeah, I don't know, Kayla. I don't know why people out there, sending pictures of their Willie
R. Kelly,
Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah. What do you know? R. Kelly and Usher.
Man. So now Usher is questionable, huh? I don't know. I guess there's not been those claims by him, but you never know. Yeah, but I don't know why people think it's a good thing to send a picture of their Willy Whacker or their Jimmy Johnson or their Mary Poppins. I think those are all hilarious ways to call it. So man, I don't know. I think it's sort of ridiculous. I think it's desperate, But then again, for some people, it's like, hey, I'm putting it out there, throwing down the gauntlet. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, swipe the other direction.
Oh man, this is funny because I'm reading the Same Girl lyrics and then just thinking about the whole R. Kelly case, and these lyrics are just they're so questionable because man, all I see is cribs and do she got kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Same Girl. Yeah. All right.
Oh man.
The next one, I guess.
Want to introduce you to this girl. Mm-hmm. Think I really love this girl. Yeah. Man, she's so fine. Straight up, dog. She stands about 5'4", Coca-Cola, red bone. She drive a black Durango. License plate say Angel. Tattoo on her ankle, plus she's making pesos. And I call her TT. Man, you know what? R. Kelly, you bad, man. You bad. Anyway. I'm gonna just let that go. Okay, next voicemail.
Man, it's me, 950 Yeah, Kayla, happy Thanksgiving. It's 2:55 p.m. here in Memphis, and I'm headed over to family that lives a little ways from me. They live an hour from me in another part of in Tennessee in the country. So I know y'all probably, we're still looking for the murderers of young dogs here in Memphis.
This is November 25th, by the way.
We're going to talk about that later, okay? I believe it's people that were under his label, his record label. We're going to talk about that later. But I know y'all heard about the Pepper Tree Apartments here in Memphis. Within a year, maybe, they've had 1,600 calls to the police, drugs, shooting, domestic violence, littering, and arson on like some of the apartments. So the district attorney here, she's shutting their apartments down because they're supposed to be like this federal type apartments or something, I guess, government sanction or whatever, I don't know.
Section 8.
But, it's terrible. So they're not letting anybody move in. They're not taking new tenants. They're shutting those apartments down, and all those tenants have to find somewhere to live. Yes. Fascinating, though. It's real fascinating to me because what's going to happen, those people are going to move somewhere else and destroy another neighborhood. This is Fox News, Middle Tennessee.
Wow, that's crazy, man. That reminds me of some apartments in like parts of town in Houston, like Acres Homes and other places like that. That were places where it always just seemed like bad stuff was going down there. So they never. I don't think they ever shut the area down.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy, but I mean, if it's like Section 8 housing, if it's like government, like funded and mandated or whatever housing, you can't be acting a fool up there because the government will shut that down with the quickness. Crazy.
Wow.
All right, here we go. November 28th.
Seems like you're ready.
R. Kelly.
To die. Okay, so this is me, Kayla. I seen y'all post about would you let somebody pee on you? Like that video of that lady singing and peed in a man's face and he was down there for it. At first I was like, no, that's not real. That's a lot she got on her leg or something and a little button, little holes. But people are nasty. And people have been doing golden showers for years after R. Kelly. But
wow.
I don't know if you want to call that a golden shower. I think you should call it golden mouthwash. I don't know. If that's floats, hell no. If that floats your boat, hey, but pee is urine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That your body has to release? Disgusting. Hell no, you couldn't give me all the money in the world. Don't mess like that. I'm sorry. Oh, child. Disgusting. Okay, bye.
Okay.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Y'all sound real scratchy, like it's got a sore throat or something. So I'm gonna call you back because that was y'all voice cord scratch.
Nah.
Like he's sick.
Nah, that's your phone connection, Kayla. You need to get that together. Okay. She called us back. Google Voice is not the problem.
Okay, that sounds better. Hey y'all, well, you can do the math thing, but I ain't lying no more. Well, yes, we are. Anyway, I got who am I? Okay, so this is our actor. He was on drugs early in his career, and he's been married to his wife forever. He's got a voice out of this world. Dope Fiends.
Know who it is.
He has really matured into a great comedic actor, I think, at times. He can be a bodyguard. He can be a bum. He, as I said, I wouldn't take him to church with me because he's not going to be able to watch his mouth. Well, I'm giving you 10 seconds.
What you got?
10,
What you got?
9, 8.
Samuel Jackson. Wait, what? Samuel? Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1. It is Samuel L. Jackson. Snakes on the plane. Shut your mother out.
Yes. As soon as he said voice out of his world, snakes, he hates snakes. I figured it.
Yeah, I couldn't think about it. Not until she said he had potty mouth.
Yeah.
Couldn't take him to church.
Yeah, it was good though. It was a good one. All right, here we go.
Oh, y'all sound like you got the flu again.
Not us.
No, but that insane stuff. It is. After 4 days, dating thing sucks. It's like going into a thrift store and making sure the shirt, your clothes, and that you buy is stanky. Oh, Lord, I was better with Toonsis the cat sitting on my car.
Toonsis the cat.
At least he didn't paw prints on my damn car.
What happened to that
thinking
cat?
while I'm driving. I will talk to you guys later. Oh, Lordy. I better. You know what? Times is getting hard. You can't even find a sugar daddy no more. Times is getting hard. If the sugar daddies is all sugared up with diabetes love, I guess. Diabetic love.
I don't know what she's saying.
I don't know. I went on a dating app to see my ex. So I just deactivated.
So she got to see her ex, but she just deactivated. Okay. All right. Here we go. Oh, here we go. So we have 2 more. So here's one from not Memphis Diva. We have a new correspondent.
Oh, awesome.
Gentle Thugs, Handsome Human, it's your guy, Jado Negro from the Don't Judge Me podcast. And I was just listening to episode 202, Don't Go Chasing Golden Waterfalls, which is half entitled. So I was just listening to the episode, and I heard Jay mention that his dentist told him that he had good saliva reproduction. And, I thought of a number of things that would be beneficial if one had good saliva reproduction. I'd like to share with you guys. So here we go. For number 1, I got it cures the Rona. Omicron. Nah. With good saliva reproduction, that Rona be gone. Okay. Let's dispel this myth right now. You cannot get those little mayonnaise stains in the corner of your mouth, or what I like to call those little boozy badasses, if you know what I'm talking about, if you have good saliva reproduction, because it's clinically impossible.
Okay.
And since clinically has been mentioned, did you know that the other professional from the 4 out of 5 doctors, or the 9 out of 10, that one did not agree and didn't get counted, does not have good saliva reproduction. Thus, that's why he's never taken into consideration. So, consider yourself considered here, sir. Number 4. Also, those known to have good saliva reproduction have the ability to take a piece of catfish hot out of the grease, put on the piece of bread, and directly and not feel it burn or bones. You know why? Good saliva reproduction. Those are 4 I just come with off the top. I'm pretty sure there are other things that good saliva reproduction can benefit, but I don't want to go into that. Anyway, great episode as always. Share that girl from the Don't Judge Me podcast. Sir Nigel is currently waving through the dark web with a tap light and a pocket knife. Wish him well.
Oh, dang.
Oh, man.
Well, that's great to know. I wasn't, it's funny because I went back to the dentist this past week. Mm-hmm. And what do you know? He says it again. Man, this guy has great saliva reproduction. And then the girl that was operating on was like, wow, he has a lot of spit just leaking out. And I keep sucking on it with my little tool.
Whoa.
Yeah. I can't think of alternative words to use for what she said, but yeah. So yeah, thanks for that information. I'm glad to know my saliva is of great use.
There you go.
To me.
Wow. Yeah, you got good saliva reproduction. Really good saliva reproduction.
No little boosie badasses for me.
That's funny. All right. Thank you, J. Del Negro, from the Don't Judge Me podcast. Hopefully Nigel has navigated his way through the dark web without having to use that pocket knife. All right, here we go. Next up, last voicemail, 3, 2, 1.
I'm having a why y'all ain't tell me segment, y'all. This Kayla. Y'all, why y'all ain't tell me Joe Osteen, this plumber went to work on inside Joe Osteen Church and had to remove something in the wall and found all this money, envelopes and cash and checks, and supposedly $600,000 got lost in Joel Osteen Church. You know what I'm saying? And why y'all ain't tell me? Why y'all ain't tell me that we really in a pandemic? Y'all, I have been to 2 churches chicken. They out of chicken, out of ice. I have been to a McDonald's. They gonna tell me what they call me. They say, I'm sorry, we're not taking any orders. Then I done went to a Burger King. I'm sorry, ma'am. We're not taking any orders. So now, we're in a real life pandemic. Bro, for real. Did y'all see the verse Ballthorn and Harmony and 3-6 Mafia? Memphis on 3-6 Mafia, yes, Auntie. Okay, so I'm at the fifth takeout place. It was something else I wanted to tell y'all. I think we should be plumbers so we can break people walls and find money. Yeah. So what else I got to tell y'all? Let's see. What else? I think that's it. Check out Bruised by Holly Berry. It's pretty good.
Heard it.
Wow. That's crazy. I did not hear about the plumber who.
I read about that yesterday. I just saw that happened. I don't know like extreme details, but I did hear about that happen. That would be pretty fire if be a plumber and you find a bunch of money behind the wall. It's like, do you tell somebody or do you keep it?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Or do you just up your fee?
Yeah, that's interesting, man. Obviously you got to tell somebody about it. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out how the money got stuck there in the walls. And was the church claiming, because this is Joel Osteen Church, so it's not, I don't know. There's a lot of fakeness up in that place. But did the church ever claim that they lost money or they, something like that? Or was it one of the people who took the money and hid it there to one day go back and get it? Or is it the time capsule and they just put the money in there and they're like, one day in the future, people are going to find this money and, like whatever. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know. I do not know.
$600,000 in checks and cash disappeared from the church safe in 2014. So I wonder if that's the same cash, same thing.
Possible. It's crazy.
So 500 envelopes fell out the wall.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable. Woo. Well, you know what? If you find that stuff, you make the decision. But if it's in a business like that, you probably want to tell them. So I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. Well, on that note, dang, we've been doing this a long time today.
Long time. We got to get these down.
I got to get hour and a half. Yeah. Right. So go ahead and tell the people where they can find it.
All right, people. Twitter, Instagram, #Blackout Pod. Find us on all your social media not social media, but your podcast streaming platforms. You can email us #blackoutpod@gmail.com or give us a call 385-3BLAKPC or 353-225-2572. Don't forget to get some hooks to hook up your Christmas dinner and your whatever other dinners you got going on. Get some of that hooks and make your life a little better, you know.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Went and dropped off at 2 new stores this week, man. So just trying to grow, trying to go.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
For shizzle. And there you have it. 203. Is that 203? It is 203. 203, the episode. 203.
203. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. We'll definitely get this out to you soon.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
All right. And there's only a few more days left to order something to get it there on time for Christmas. So don't forget that.
For shizzle.
Don't forget to make sure to get something for your family and your...
Man.
Yeah, man. On that note, I'm blacking out.
And a ho, ho, ho. Later.
Ho, ho's. All right, peace.
Ooh.
Yeah, we got to work on getting this down shorter. I mean, obviously, it'd probably help if we didn't have like 37 voicemails to get to.
True.
But,
very true.
You know, it's whatever.
Yeah. So. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I bought a slab of pork ribs a couple days ago. I think I'm going to try and do that. We don't eat too much pork or beef around here, but for some reason I had a craving for some ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody sells. I couldn't find no beef ribs, so my wife likes beef ribs from time to time, or whenever we have them. Rare times we have them. But try.
Yeah, what was I gonna say? I have a plan to make a Make a McRib with some real ribs.
Yeah.
So I have a video in the works to try to do that. I just haven't had a chance to do it. I was going to do it, before Thanksgiving, or I was going to do it after Thanksgiving, and I hadn't had a chance since Sophie had her knee thing happen. So, but I have 2 slabs of ribs just waiting in the fridge to thaw out. So I need to get one and just make it happen. So
cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yes. So let's see. Oh, dang it. I had somebody just tell me that they can't pay for an order. And it's probably because the Rasta Rub is out of stock. Let's see here. Let me save that. I think that, they tried to pay for the order and it wouldn't work. So, Yeah. So anyway, all right, cool, man. Sounds good. Interested to see how them ribs turn out. Are you gonna put like mustard down as a binder first?
I'm thinking about what technique I want to do. It'll either be mustard or maybe a slight bit of olive oil or something. Maybe even hot sauce. Do I have hot sauce? I think I have some hot sauce. We'll see.
Let's see here. I was gonna say what is the word? Oh wait, what the heck just happened? I have used mayonnaise as a binder, and it works really well. Resending. Let me see here. Resending invoice. Okay. And come on, just send the freaking invoice already. I've used mayonnaise as a binder, and it works really well. And I've also used hot sauce, and it works really well. Actually, hot sauce, you could taste a little bit extra heat on it. Mayonnaise, you really can't taste it one way or the other. But actually, I think it comes out it has like a little different flavor to it. So it actually works really well too. And I think the vinegar and the mayonnaise helps like tenderize the meat. So it'd be a good idea. Let's try it. Anyway, all right, man. Well, shoot, I got to get these cheering to church. So I'll holler at you later.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right, then. You too. Peace out.